Hello all, welcome to this episode of Bash with Unix-like operating system. In this episode, we are going to have a look at the concept of variables. We know that variables are the locations in memory where we store the value and that value can be changed. So almost all the programming languages, they have the concept of variables. In Bash also we have variables. We can create our own custom variables or there are a few built-in variables. So the built-in variables are known as system variables or environment variables. So let us get started with the custom variables. We can create our own variables with a equals to 2. So this is a simple example of a variable. And if I try to say echo a, then it is just going to print a. Okay, it is not going to print the value of variable. In order to print the value of that variable, we have to say $a so that it is going to consider the remainder part as the name of the or the identifier for a particular variable. So here it is printing the value of a. Similarly, if I say str1 equals to my name Ashwin, and if I hit enter, now if I say str1, then it will say command not found. And even if I say echo str1, then it will say str. Okay. We just need to use a dollar symbol before the variable name for the shell to interpret it as an identifier for a variable. So here we are printing the value of that particular string str1. Now in case you want to see the special variables I was talking about, the environment variables or system variables as they are called as, we just need to type in the command env. And if I hit enter, I will see the list of all the environment variables. So let us have a look at the most important ones. Echo. We have already seen the variable $shell, right? So we are going to have again that sort of variable. Okay. So let us say $shell. So this variable stores the name of the shell that is the current active shell. Okay. Now we can also say if the shell is bash, we can also see bash underscore version and host name. Hist file. And echo hist file shows us the file where the bash history is stored. So we have already seen the history command. That history command reads everything from this particular file, bash history. We can also check the path, or let us check home first. So this is the home for the current user. Then we also have path. Path is the variable, or rather it is the environment variable where the shell interpreter checks for the command name that we are going to enter on that shell. So if I am going to type any command, shell interpreter will check for the existence of that particular executable file in all these locations. So the location names are separated by colon. Okay, and then we have columns. So this is going to tell us the number of columns in our current shell interpreter window. Lines. Basically, these columns and lines are dimensions of our current interface. So it is 61 by 40. Then again, log name. So the logged in current user is the log name, and OS type. So it is telling us that it is GNU Linux. PS1 stands for prompt settings. Okay. And I think that this is customizable, but I'm not actually sure how to customize it, but this is definitely customizable. Again, there is something known as username. So it may not work with this particular distribution of Debian. Okay, so this doesn't work with this distribution, but in many Linux distributions and Unix distributions, this thing works perfectly. And finally, PWD, that is present working directory. Okay. So when we run the command PWD, it reads from this variable. So this is the list of all the important environment variables. And we had also had a look at the concept of user defined custom variables. So we are going to use all these concepts while we are going to learn the shell scripting with Unix like operating systems. So for now, I think that this much is enough for this episode. Do let me know if you have any questions or queries in the comment section down below. Thanks a lot for watching my episode on shell variables and environment variables. Thanks a lot once again, and we will meet again in the next episode.